So I tried mechanical keyboard but before we can go further and discussing the mechanical keyboard itself, it's actually needed to tell what I've been using before and what I get used to. And so this is why you will see why it was so drastic change for me. And this might be especially relevant for you if you are like me, kind of heard a lot about using the mechanical keyboards, how awesome it is and so on, but you were struggling to try, or you were more or less skeptical about this. I used Apple keyboards for like more than 10 years already. When I was at my first software engineering job, we had like pretty standard computers with the very cheap like accessories like the mouse and the keyboard. And one of my colleagues actually had this long Apple keyboard, this 100% keyboard. He just bought it and attached. And I thought, well, I mean, the keyboard looked nice. It was much better than what we used to. So I decided to do the same. And basically, this is what I've been using so far. It's bigger, but the thing is that it happened more like than 10 years ago. And since then, I've been using the macOS keyboard in any form. So it was like the long version, like a little bit longer than this one. Then it was like different laptops, like I used to have the MacBook Air, then MacBook Pro with different types of the keyboards. And yeah, and this is what I've been using like for last, I think, 3-4 years. I've been using this keyboard and I'm very used to to the layout, to the size, to the distance between the keys. I've heard a lot about like how awesome the mechanical keyboard is, how it changes the way you work. I don't know. For me, it always was something like just a hype and it's not worth it. So I actually, like, a lot of the people around me, like old colleagues, tried to use and they switched to use the mechanical keyboard. I was like, I was fine. I was so get used to like the Apple's layout and the size of the keyboard. So I wasn't sure why I need to switch, but then something happened. Last year, my friend gifted me a mechanical keyboard, so I could say that he's kind of a sponsor of this video, because he actually switched to the mechanical keyboard and we were kind of discussing it back and forth. And I actually watched a couple of the videos about different keyboards, mostly like budget, although this one, I think it's around $100, which I'm not sure when $100 became a budget thing. Anyway, so he gifted me this one. It's heavy. So he gifted me this keyboard. It's a Vermeer SK75. It's damn heavy. It's like 2 kilograms. This is the mirror. I have no idea why you need a mirror on the back of the... Yeah, you can see the camera. I have no idea why you need a mirror on the back of the keyboard. Anyway, since around October, I decided to give it a try. Well, since it was a gift. So yeah, it was a very nice occasion to actually finally try it. First thing, that it doesn't, for the sake of this video, it actually doesn't matter what the type of, what the manufacturer and the model of the keyboard I'm using, because I would say the main thing is about actual shift between these different type of the keyboards. First thing, it's a programmable keyboard. So you can use the software to actually change like how certain keys behave. So you can even define some macros right into the keyboard, so you don't have to use some kind of the software to do this, like Carabiner Elements on the macOS. So you can build stuff into this one. It has a very nice lighting effect. So it's there is an RGB panel under the keyboard surface, I guess, and you can configure it as you want. So you can blow it up like to have the RGB light all the time, although it drains the battery pretty much quickly. Or you can do what I did, that you just hit the button and it's kind of adds a nice lighting, which is pretty neat. One thing that When the keyboard came, it came with some default switches. Switch, it's a thing behind the keycap that you see on the top and the actual board of the keyboard. So it defines how exactly you press the key. And the one that was in the keyboard was damn too loud. So I actually changed them. I bought a different set of the switches. It's called red something something silent, and their sound is pretty silent. I mean, it's actually when you type you can hear it a lot, and for me personally it's a very nice one, but the original one was very clicky, so it was like always something clicking. Yeah, if you're sitting in the noise cancelling headphones, that's fine, but if it's not, even for the person, I mean, for me, I was using the keyboard, it was too much, so I changed it. But the main question is around all of this thing about the mechanical keyboard, but how does it feel to use it? So I've been using this for almost 4 months, these keyboards. I mean, from time to time I switch to, I mean, I work on the laptop, so I'm still using the Apple's keyboard, but most of the time I'm trying to work with a monitor and using the keyboard. And the problem that I have no idea how I will come back to the old, using old way of typing. Let's make it clear, it doesn't give you any productivity, as probably some people will tell you. It's really not. I mean, for example, for me, especially in the beginning, it's actually decreased a lot my typing speeds and the way I'm using the keyboard, because I was missing keys all the time. Because the size of the keyboard is much larger actually, even they are considered both like 75% keyboard, which means that they don't have a numpad on the right side. The Mimir one is much bigger and it's noticeable. So for me it was actually the downgrade in productivity. But after, especially when I changed the switches under the keycaps, I didn't feel so much pleasure of typing at all. So that's the thing. It's like, there is something that you have to do daily and you're just okay with this. But imagine that you do the same, but right now you're feeling better by doing this. So the thing is that I just enjoy typing right now, especially like this is a very cool combination, the mechanical keyboard and using something like Neovim, which forces you to do like all of the things from the keyboard. And it's just so cool combination. I mean, right now I actually understand why so many people kind of switch to it, because first you can customize it a lot. Switches that I bought cost half of the price of the whole keyboard. I know that like top tier, or I don't know, the good one cost around $200-300, something like this. But I like mine very much, especially because it was an ability to buy it in white version, because I'm not in a place where I would like to have too many different colors on the keyboard. I like that it's black and white. If you're okay with using your keyboard, I don't know, it's a built-in in the laptop, or it's like me using the Apple keyboard or something different, and you're okay with this, I mean, you like it, I mean, that's fine. You don't have to force yourself to try. I wouldn't say it's not worth it, but it's not as, hyped as some people might tell you. But if you are like me, who was like, should I try, should I not try? Just try it. I don't know, maybe you can find some used keyboards on the eBay or any other place and just try it, because it's a different typing experience for sure. The cool thing, if you like customizing things, you can customize it and you can tweak it as much as you like. Although I didn't use that option yet, I'm not sure if I want to go down that road. But I mean, hey, I changed switches, so I guess that counts, right? Maybe you will enjoy it and you will shift your keyboard to something mechanical, as I did. And yeah, but the problem is that actually there is one thing. The problem is actually when I had to use the laptop without this keyboard, because I tend to get used to new layout more and more, which means that some of the keys are different on the laptop. I started to miss keys again. But the problem that, for example, if you watch some videos from Dev's life, you can see that he's taking his keyboard with him when he's going out to do something. But I'm not going to do this because my laptop is about like 2 kilograms. Just the keyboard is additional 2 kilograms, which is not good for my back, and I'm not getting younger. Anyway, if you wanted to try, if you still think that's just a hype, then just ignore it. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, just check the links below. You can join the Discord server, you can support me by buying me a coffee, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.